We all want more customers, right? But what if you could find the ones who are already out there looking for you? Today, we're going to break down exactly how to turn a simple search query into a direct line to a sale.
I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's not just about finding anyone. It's about finding the people at that final, crucial step of their buying journey. So how do you actually pinpoint them in that huge sea of casual online browsers?
So let's dive into the core problem every business faces, getting the right kind of attention. It's so noisy out there online. And, just getting clicks, well, that's only half the battle.
And that is the absolute key. Getting tons of visitors is great, but the real gold is in what's called the consideration stage. We're talking about people who are actively weighing their options and are this close to hitting that buy button.
Okay, so how in the world do we find these incredibly valuable people? Well, it all comes down to understanding the exact language they use when they search.
And this is our secret weapon, commercial intent keywords. You gotta think of them like digital breadcrumbs. They're little clues left behind by people who aren't just window shopping. No, they are on a mission to buy something.
And here's what they actually look like. When someone searches for iPhone reviews, that's not just idle curiosity. It is a huge signal that they're getting ready to buy. Same goes for something like Shopify versus BigCommerce, or, of course, best pizza near me. These are all crystal clear buying signals.
All right, so we know what they are, but why are they such a massive game changer for businesses? Let's take a look at the actual proof.
And look, this isn't just a theory. It is a core strategy for the pros. SEO expert Connor Gillivan says he prioritizes what he calls MOFU and BOFU keywords. That's just jargon for middle and bottom of the sales funnel. Basically, he's targeting people at the absolute most critical moments of their buying decision.
And we're not talking about some tiny little trickle of traffic here. The impact of these keywords is enormous. Seriously, just wait till you see the data for these big household names. I mean, just look at the sheer scale of this. Over half, 58% of the organic traffic for a retailer like Best Buy comes from these commercial keywords. Kay Jewelers, 57%. Even a giant like Amazon gets nearly half of its organic traffic this way. This proves it. These keywords are the engine that drives online retail.
Okay, hopefully you're convinced. But now you're probably asking, how do I actually find and use these powerful keywords? Don't worry, let's build your playbook right now.
So first, you gotta spot the best opportunities. You're really looking for a nice balance of three things. First is search volume, that's your potential reach. Then there's keyword difficulty, or KD, which tells you how competitive it is. And finally, cost per click, or CPC. A high CPC is actually a great sign, because if advertisers are willing to pay a lot of money for one click, you can bet that keyword leads to sales.
So once you have your list of keywords, you've got a bunch of ways to get in front of those searchers. You can try to get featured in reviews, publish amazing content on your own website, run paid ads, get your products into Google Shopping, or, of course, optimize your Google business profile. Let's just zoom in on one of these real quick.
Running search ads is one of the most direct ways you can capture this traffic, and the process is pretty straightforward. You just create a campaign in Google Ads, plug in those keywords you found, write an ad that grabs their attention, and set your budget. Boom! You're right there at the top of the search results exactly when they're ready to make a move.
You also have to think about where you want to show up. Creating content on your own website is fantastic for building your brand's authority, but getting featured on trusted review sites can be just as powerful. Maybe even more so because you're tapping into an audience that already trusts them.
Okay, so you've put in all this hard work. How do you know if it's actually paying off? Well, you have to track your performance. You got to measure what matters.
And tracking doesn't have to be super complicated. A free tool like Google Search Console is great. It'll show you your organic rankings. If you want to go deeper, a tool like SEMrush's position tracking lets you monitor specific keywords over time for both your organic results and your paid ads. That way, you get the whole picture. So here's the bottom line. Everything we've talked about, finding the right keywords, creating content, running ads, tracking your results, it's all about one thing: being there at that critical moment of decision. You're not interrupting them, you're helping them. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? Search is changing so fast with AI, but the human need to do research before buying something, that's not going anywhere. In fact, understanding a person's intent is probably more important than it's ever been. So the real question is, how are you going to adapt your strategy to find that next customer?